All right, so we are live on Facebook. We are recording. And with that, hi everyone who's watching. This is Comedy is Calling. My name is Stacey Axler, and if you're watching this show tonight, you have made a very good decision for your Friday night. It is 7:36 p.m. on a Friday. Do you know where your children are? Well, if your child's an adult and they happen to do comedy, there's a chance they might be participating or watching this comedy show. So you have made a very good choice right now. Everyone, all week long, I've been waiting to do this comedy show. I am so thrilled to be here tonight. I have assembled one of the best lineups I've ever assembled. I'm not even exaggerating right now. I truly feel this way. You are about to see stand-up. You are about to see improv. It is a wonderful show. I am so fortunate to be bringing you this show with our friends at Capital Cider House. We love you, Capital Cider House. More on that later. Oh my goodness. Everyone, right now, all I'm doing is staring at a very large blemish on my face, on my forehead. So I'm gonna stop doing that and introduce our first stand-up coming to this show. I am so thrilled to invite this stand-up back. So please make some noise for the very funny Laurent Amzalag, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. It's such a pleasure to be back. I really appreciate it. One of the first questions that people ask me when they meet me for the first time is, Laurent, where are you from? What's your background? So I'm going to tell you, I'm a Jewish French Moroccan. I'm a French Jew from Morocco, which is a Muslim country, which makes me an interesting person, but also a person of interest. You know what I mean? Think about it. It's a crazy combination. Jewish, French, Moroccan, French, Jew from a Muslim country. It makes me obnoxious, cheap, and blacklisted altogether, I'm a dream guy. I love living in America. I have to be honest with you. I love living in America. My English is not that great, and it gets worse if I get nervous. Like the other day, I got stopped by the police because I was speeding, and he thought I was drinking, so he asked me to get out of the vehicle and count to 20 backwards. So I got nervous, so, that's what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, my English is not that great. I love living in America. There's certain things I don't understand, in America. For example, I'll give you an example, the media, for example. I just feel, compared to where I come from, I just feel that the media gives way too much information to the public. Information that the enemy could use against us. I'll give you an example. This is exactly the conversation I heard on CNN between a White House correspondent and the anchor. Yes, John, yes, I'm standing in front of the White House door. The door is closed, but everybody knows there's an extra key under the flower pot in front of the door. Yes, John, yes, the president sleeps on the second floor in the far right room at the end of the corridor. Yes, John, yes, the president loves to take a walk on the balcony every night at 7 p.m. all alone. Yes, John, yes. The president sleeps at 10 p.m., which is fine because the Secret Service night shift ends at 3 and the morning shift begins at 5 a.m., which means that from 3 to 5, no one is guarding the president. Back to you, John.
Yeah.
They do get CNN in Iran. You know that, right? In color. So another piece of information, I turned 40.
Ooh.
In 2010. Yeah. Telling you, things change after 50. Let me tell you that. I don't care if you're in shape, if you work out, if you're a Jewish, French, Moroccan. Things change at 50, all right? But you learn how to adapt. For example, my doctor told me I needed reading glasses recently. So I did whatever a smart and mature adult would do. I stopped reading books, Book some tapes for me from now on. When you wake up in the morning when you're in your 20s or 30s, man, you bounce out of bed, right? You feel like, Michael Jackson, doing the moonwalk to the bathroom. You pee for half an hour and then you are done. You don't have to go back to a bathroom for 5 days, When you wake up at 50, you need a minute, You need a minute. You'll end up sitting at the edge of the bed, sometimes 15 seconds, sometimes 15 minutes, depends the day, Everything hurts, the neck hurts, the back hurts. You don't even know why. All you did was sleep, Then you turn to your wife of 15 years and you say, "Did she hit me with a hammer last night?" You know, because that's exactly what it feels like. Then when you decide to finally walk to the bathroom, you know, there's no more Michael Jackson. There's no more hee hee. You barely have any balance left. You know, you bang a few walls on your way to the bathroom. You know, if a towel or pillow happens to be on the way, you don't lift your leg over it. You know, this early in the morning, that could cost you a hamstring. You know, that's 2 weeks out. You know, you walk around it. Then you go to the bathroom, then you stand right there and you wonder why you're even there. That's your 18th time since last night, you know? And then you start talking to yourself, you're like, all right, just give me a few drops. A few drops, I'll be happy. You know? 30 minutes later, nothing, you know, and you're like, all right, you know what, I'll just come back later. And then you abandon the project. But to counter the effects of aging, I did something unusual. I married a younger woman, you know? My wife is 16 years younger than me, 16 years younger, which means that when I graduated high school, she was just born, you know? Which officially makes me a predator, right? Still to this day, every time I walk back home, I'm looking around to see if that guy from Dateline is going to pop from the bushes, you know? Still scared of that. But yeah, it's you know, she's 16 years younger, and a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so lucky. It must be incredible." You know, being married to a younger woman has its dangers. You know, it's not as cracked up to be. My wife happens to be Latina, you know, but she's not only Latina. No, because that would be easy. She's a Jewish Latina. Do you know how dangerous that combination is? Do you have any idea? It's like giving steroids to a grizzly bear. You know, nobody needs to have that much strength. You know, anybody else dating a Jewish Latina over here? Guys, I know there's two guys. No, I'm the only one on a suicide mission here.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not married to one, but I'm arguably am one.
You are a Jewish Latina?
Arguably by marriage.
Okay, that's not the same thing. Like I'm talking about full-bred Argentinian. You know, the more south you go in South America, the more dangerous they get. You know, so this is as bad as it gets. You know, my wife is very jealous. You know, she's very very jealous, and I don't know why she's so jealous. She is married to a French personal trainer. What the hell does she have to worry about? You know, my wife confuses dreams and reality. You know. Like the other night, she had a dream that I was making love to another woman. She hit me full blast in the middle of the night, you know. And at that point, two things happen in me. You know, whatever comes out of my mouth is completely different than what goes on in my head. What comes out of my mouth is, "Baby, go back to sleep. You just had a beautiful dream." You know, that's what comes out of my mouth. What happens in my head is like, "Holy crap! What else does she know?" You know. But guys, we don't have those issues, right? We don't gotta wake up in the middle of the night, you know, for that kind of stuff. You know, the only reason why a man will wake up in the middle of the night worried and confused is if he has a dream that he's peeing. That's it, you know? And by the way, guys, if ever you have a dream that you're peeing, wake the hell up because it's probably happening, okay? I don't know, man. We've been having some problems, I'm not gonna lie. We went to this marriage counselor and the marriage counselor is like, "Go ahead, tell her what's on your mind. Tell her what's in your heart." And I said, "I did tell her what was on my mind. That's why we're sitting right here." You know? Marriage is tough, man. I know now why, you know, French men die before their wives. Because they want to. You know? But I can't divorce her now. You know, how would I get new material? You know? Like the other day she gave me this Hallmark card. You know, a Hallmark card. It said, "Get better soon." I wasn't even sick, you know? No, but I'm happily married. I know that because she told me. But the one thing is, like, you know, I love my in-laws. I love my mother-in-law. She's great, you know. Not everybody loves their in-laws, you know. My best friend hates his mother-in-law. He hates her. Like the other day I saw him in the street. His face was all busted up. Like his eye was dark blue, black. His nose was bleeding. He was missing a tooth. And I'm like, "Steve, what happened to you?" He said, "Oh man, Laurent, I had to bury my mother-in-law last night." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, you know, but that doesn't explain your face." He said, "She didn't want to." So yeah, he's not crazy about her. My best friend Steve, the guy that doesn't like his mother-in-law, works at IKEA. Anybody likes that store, IKEA?
Woo!
Yeah, my wife loves that store. Like, the other day she came back with this box, pieces of metal this big. I'm like, what is this? She said, oh, you put it together and it makes forks. Like, what? You make forks with that? I bought this item at IKEA the other day, like a little toy bin for my kids, 4 pieces. I said that's gonna be a breeze. Put it together. 5 hours later, I realized that the side was actually the bottom. Like, man, that's like 16 hours. If I added $50, I could have bought one that's already finished, delivered at my footsteps. $50. 16 hours I spent putting 4 pieces together, which basically means that my time is worth about $3 an hour. You know what I mean? But my best friend, like I said, works at IKEA. And his birthday was last week. So I told him, you know what? I have a good present for your birthday. I'm gonna bring you your cake. Your birthday cake is gonna be my present. So I brought him a box, and in the box was a pound of butter, 1 cup of flour, sugar, a mixing bowl, spoon, and instruction. I said, you figure it out. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, keep it going for Laurent Amzalog. Everyone, this show is rolling on forward. We're keeping it going. The comedy doesn't stop on a Friday. It just doesn't. I am thrilled because right now I'm inviting our next comic coming to this show. Please make some noise for the very funny Jeff Hyson, everyone.
Hey, thank you. Well, after watching Laurent, I'm sitting there watching him, and I felt like the after picture. And then he says he's 50. He's not that far from me. And he looks like that. His wife's 16 years younger, and he's a personal trainer. I hate that guy. Meanwhile, in my house, after 11 months, it's official. My wife and I have run out of things to talk about. Because tonight at dinner, we had a discussion on the merits of celery. Not just do you like it, but it went on for a while. So in other words, I'm glad to be here. When you get older, change happens fast. My son said, Dad, I don't like your cisgender attitude and heteronormative expectations. I only asked him what time it was. I'm watching college basketball with my son, and one team's winning by 30 points with 3 minutes left. So I turned to the TV and I said, time to bring in the white guys. And my son said, Dad, that's so racist. And as he said that, 3 white guys got off the end of the bench and entered the game. I think that one was the coach's son, one's parents gave a big donation, and the other knew Lori Loughlin. They would have been in the game a minute earlier, but they thought the coach was pranking them. Now, one thing that happens is I'm bad at yoga, but I'm also an older white guy, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Maybe it's yoga karma. As an older white guy, I know that I enjoy certain privileges that I haven't necessarily earned. On the other hand, when I try to get into the goddess pose, I'm stiff and awkward. I took a yoga flow class. There was no flow. The class should have been called Yoga Stops and Starts. And it's a cultural appropriation for me to even do the goddess pose. Excuse me, Utthana Konasana. By the way, that's Sanskrit. I thought it was Yiddish. One thing we've learned during this time is that corporations really cares about us. I bought a pair of shoes online. And I immediately received an email that said, "Thank you for joining us in our mission to create a more sustainable future." I did no such thing. All I did was pay for comfortable footwear. I didn't pay to join a cult. And then the next day there was another email which said, "With your next purchase, we will feed a starving child." Don't threaten me. They're holding some poor kid hostage in the factory, so I'll pay for more overpriced shoes. That's horrible. And then there was another email inviting me to their Instagram because we post about sustainable technology and the human experience. Oh, thanks for the warning. I'll pass. I wasn't entering into a relationship. They're just shoes. I don't even know what shoes I own. One day I went to work with mismatched shoes. And it's not like they were a little bit different. One was black and the other was a slipper. And it took me until 3 in the afternoon to notice. I'm online at the deli and I look up and see a sign that says "Manager's Special." What an ego. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I'm sure his mother thinks so. So I say to the clerk, "If the manager's special, then what am I, chopped liver?" So she gave me chopped liver, and it wasn't that special. Very disappointing. No chopped liver for my wife. She's a vegetarian. Well, to be more specific, she's a lactose intolerant pescatarian. That's not as sexy as it sounds. You want to go out to dinner with us? No, you don't. We go to a restaurant and I just sit there while she scrutinizes the menu looking for contraband ingredients like dairy or flavor. And then the poor waiter comes over and she interrogates him. "Does this taste good?" "It does." "Do people like it?" "They do." "Then I can't have it. Dr. Jones, let's go." Sometimes I just wait in the car. Guy at work just got back from vacation. Remember vacations? Those were fun. And he starts telling me all the things that went wrong on his trip. Don't do that because you weren't at work. You were on vacation. While you say that the food was overrated, I was at my desk eating a lean cuisine. While you say that there wasn't enough to do, I was busy trying to figure out a new password with a special character, which is difficult for me because I believe that all characters are special. Just how I was raised. I believe in that. But not everyone feels that way. And why are we creating class divisions between the characters? You're just an R. I'm an ampersand. I'm special. Snooty ampersand thinks it's part of the 1%. Don't get me started on the umlaut. And while you found that the drinks were watered down, I walked down the hall and found that there was no toilet paper, which I needed after that lean cuisine. So never complain about your vacation. And when you're married, it's important to communicate. Well, my wife has my back when we're in the car with the GPS lady. The GPS takes me down a side road and I ask it, "Where are you taking me?" And my wife yells at it, "Yeah, what are you, stupid?" When we're in the car, it's like we're in a gang, a weird, middle-aged Jewish gang. When you're married, it's important to communicate, I guess. I'm looking at my computer and I say out loud, wow. And my wife asks, wow, what? And I say, it's not important. And she says, if it's important to you, it's important to me. And I say, not this. And she says, tell me. And I say, okay. It says here that Keith Richards has over 3,000 guitars. And then she says, why'd you tell me that? But she communicated with me last night. I got into bed, I looked next to her, and I saw this sign. Message received. My name is Jeff Heisen. Thank you, Cider House. Thank you, Stacy.
Oh my goodness. Keep it going for Jeff Heisen, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, everyone. Right now, it's time for me to do some stand-up. Me, your host, Stacey X. I'm having a hair problem, but we're gonna get through it. Oh, now you'll all have to look at my blemish for the next 10 minutes. Sorry, everyone. It's right here. It's right here. I can't stop staring at it. All right, everyone, here we go. Earlier in this pandemic, like I would say around May, I got really, I was in like a weird zone where I was like, who am I anyway? Like, I was like, I don't even know who I am. And I was tired of making bread and I wasn't any good at it. And I just needed something to do. So I started taking a lot of online personality quizzes. And I learned that I am an empath. Are there any other empaths here? Everyone here is not an empath, but that's all right. That's okay. But this is what I've learned. An empath is someone who really cares about the people around them. According to the internet, that's what I am. And what you might not know is that there is a dark side to being an empath. It is possible to care too much. That's what I've learned over these past few months. For example, I have been spending these literal days on end watching this show called Hoarders. Have you ever heard of it? It is like a show unlike any. Oh, Beth is an empath. Wonderful. But going back to this Hoarders thing, this show, if you haven't seen it, it basically is about these people who have this condition that causes them to keep putting stuff into their homes. Like they can't help it. They just need to fill their home due to some reason. Sometimes it's a past trauma, sometimes it's like another unspecified thing. They just never think they have enough stuff, so at some point their homes just become unlivable. And during every show, the Hoarders team will come to their house and they'll help the Hoarders clean out their house, and they reunite with their family. And I will watch episode after episode, and it's like the same thing every time. But it's gotten to the point that I've watched so many of these episodes. I'm at this point where I'm watching it now and I'm like, you know what? The thing is, some of these people have really cool stuff. Like, that's just not talked about as much in Hoarders as I would want it to be. Like, everyone is like, oh, you need to take this stuff out of your house. You have too much stuff. But no one is on the hoarder side saying, but this stuff is cool. Well, I'm on that side. Some of this stuff is cool. And all of their family, the hoarders team, they're like, no, this is trash. I'm sitting there saying, but is it trash? Is it trash if you can't get another lamp like that anymore? They put it into the garbage truck. They don't care. So I guess what I'm really trying to say right now to you all is just be nicer to people. Just be nicer to people, because they might have some cool stuff. They just might have some cool stuff. Oh my gosh. Being an empath, it's very interesting because I feel like, especially now, like modern day, it's really like, it's cool to have a devil may care attitude, especially about what other people think of you. Like, preferably an attitude would be like, I don't care what people think about me. But everyone, I care. I care a lot what people think about me, actually. I actually care maybe too much, but that's what being an empath is. But I care so much. But here's the thing that I've realized. I'm 29 now, so you might say, oh, thank you, Jeff. I love you too. I've realized this. This is something I've actually realized. Even if you don't care what people think about you, people will find all sorts of creative ways to let you know exactly what they think of you, even if you don't care. Even if you don't care, they'll still find ways to let you know. For example, I am a person, which I'm technically an adult, even though I may not identify as an adult, but I have a lot of friends who do identify as an adult. And adults, you can tell how competent fellow adults think you are based on the quality of cookware items they give you. For instance, if your friends are giving you gourmet cookbooks and these really nice silverware sets, they probably think you're a competent person. If they think you're like me, though, they will give you a cookbook titled Cooking with 5 Ingredients or Less. 5 ingredients apparently is all Stacey Axer can handle anymore, and Stacey Axer just can't take care of herself. That 6th ingredient, if you give her bay leaves, you better get out, because Stacey just can't handle the bay leaves. Just get her a pot, some salt and pepper. Literally, this cookbook just teaches you how to throw things into a pot with as few ingredients as possible that can still help you sustain life. People don't think I can sustain life, but guess what, everyone? Maybe I can't, but I at least knew how to log into the Zoom show. So now look at that. Look at that. I did it. I've done it. Oh my gosh. So I've realized something recently, which is I sometimes like to think that I've left the past in the past, but the past is never really the past when you feel guilty all the time. So let me explain. When I was younger, I never really understood sarcasm or like other types of kind of subversive humor. When I was younger, I never really knew when to laugh at my friends' jokes, and I always felt like I was kind of watching on the periphery of things. I always kind of grew up wishing that real life mirrored sitcoms in the fact that there was actually a laugh track that could tell you when to laugh at things. And I feel like I would feel more ingratiated with my peers if that was the case, because I want to support your jokes. Like, I really do, but sometimes I don't know that you're making a joke. So it's hard for me to support you. When I was younger, I was what you would call mature for my age, which is a really nice way of saying sad. I was a very sad child. All of my peers would be sitting around saying, "When is recess?" And then I would be sitting there saying, "When is a good time for you to remind us about where you were when JFK was assassinated?" I don't know if you know this, but if someone is over 60 years old, they would love to sit down and talk to you about exactly where they were when JFK was assassinated, because they have a story about it. They will tell you all about it. It's something else. And I like to listen to it because all of my friends actually were the teachers. So I talk to them almost constantly. A big thing when I was younger was that people would always say this joke, which is kind of like an anti-joke, but basically what it is you would ask them a question and they would respond. The answer would always be "your mom," and they would kind of yell that in your face. And then I'd be like, okay, and then kind of leave. I didn't get it. So I never participated in your mom jokes. And I'm really upset about that to this day. And I really wish we could bring your mom jokes back, because I think it'd be so funny for me sitting at my office typing and then like an HR rep to come by and would say, "Hey, you never filled out that PTO request." And then I could say, "Your mom." And that wouldn't go over well necessarily, but I don't know where else to use your mom. Like, I don't know. I really don't, but one day. It's very interesting because when I was younger, I was always kind of like that kid, that kind of like moody kid. We used to call it goth. And my teachers would always say, "Don't worry, Stacy. Don't worry, because those popular kids, those jocks, they're gonna peak in high school. But you're smart, Stacy. You're gonna go off from this place and have a great life and be happy. You'll see, Stacy." And this was wrong advice for two reasons. One, I I I have depression. So happiness is not something I strive for in a day. I strive for at peace. I aim to end and begin each day at peace. If I'm happy, wonderful, but that doesn't happen every day. The second reason that this advice was just wrong is that I'm not that smart. I don't know how I was able, this is not even self-deprecating humor at this point. Like, I'm okay with my average brain. I feel like I don't know why being a genius is so like sought after. Like, people are like, my child is the smartest, look at them play piano. It's like, it's okay to just be a person of average intelligence. Like, I'm okay with not being Albert Einstein. Really, the only two skills I think people need to know, actually, let's say three skills that people need to know today. Using WD-40, it's just buy it and use it. There's really no intelligence needed. How to unclog a toilet and how to turn on a device, whether it's a television or computer or phone. That's really all you need. And then you're good. You're good to go. You don't need to be a genius. But I think people thought I was smart for several reasons. One, I used to be really good at Jeopardy, which just shows my brain is filled with facts, but are facts knowledge? But it's like, have you ever answered a Jeopardy question right and you think, oh, maybe I am smart, like I knew what a fulcrum was, but then you're like, no, that doesn't mean you're really, really smart. But I was thinking about it the other day, because if you reverse Jeopardy, like if you actually asked the questions that were the answers in Jeopardy, some of the answers you would get, if those were the questions, like they would be really unsatisfying. Not all the time, but sometimes. One of the ways it would be satisfying is one of the questions that was, okay, I'm not, it's difficult to explain this joke, and this is the first time I'm doing it, but this is what I meant. So the answer that I'm now putting as the question was, who is John Tyler? And what they put up on the board, what the contestant selected was, he was a president, he was sworn in as vice president and president in 1841. Obviously, that's John Tyler. Like, that's no one else besides John Tyler. I don't remember who the president was supposed to be, but he got like pneumonia or something for not wearing a coat and then just died. And I mean, that's pretty dumb. I'm not gonna lie, no disrespect, but imagine being like, I don't need a coat for my inauguration. I'm going out in just my suit. And imagine like people being like, no, you must wear a coat, and then dying. I don't know. I think it's a little bit weird. But here's one. The answer in Jeopardy is what I'm now going to phrase as the question, which is, what is a stage? And this is what they put up on the board. The most famous speech in As You Like It says all the world is this. That doesn't give me any specific information. Like, if I actually asked someone, hey, what is a stage? And they told me that, like, no, that's not what a stage is. Like, I know what a stage is because I used to be in musical theater. A stage is where you perform a show or do something, or like a raised platform. Like Jeopardy, you're not right. You're just not right. But I think people thought I was smart because I was very good at Jeopardy once. And then I think the other reason why is because I was really good at English literature. I just was. But that wasn't because I was intelligent. That was because from a young age, I figured out what they wanted me to do in English literature, which is, I figured it all out. From about 14 on, I figured it out. Every book you read for English literature class in grade school through high school, sometimes even in college, is about boy drama. And I don't mean drama about boys. I mean boys causing and creating drama. Okay, so here is some examples. Oh my gosh, I have a whole bunch of them. Where should we begin? Catcher in the Rye. That's boy drama. That's just all about boy drama. Sound and the Fury. That's about three boys creating drama with their poor sister, who's an innocent bystander. The Great Gatsby. That's rich boy drama. That's the worst boy drama of it all. It doesn't get any worse than that. Crime and Punishment. That's Russian boy drama. Honestly, I kind of like that book, but it's still about boy drama. Of Mice and Men, two boys, one of them dies, even more drama. And honestly, I liked Lenny a lot, but still drama. I'm just tired of the boy drama. Like Lord of the Flies is like 85 boys causing so much drama, and then everyone cries. And oh my God, everyone's now typing in the comments. My hypothesis is correct, but like it's just so sad. I think the saddest part of all is that they say women cause drama, but no, it's textually inaccurate. Like I don't know of one book in which, I don't want to say that. Name me 10 books and I bet most of them are about boy drama. So women, I think we're in the clear. We have textual evidence on our side. So boys, stop causing drama, please and thank you. That's my time. I'm Stacey Axer. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh my gosh. Everyone, the comedy doesn't stop on a Friday. It just doesn't. And I am thrilled because right now I am about to welcome our next stand-up coming to this show. So please make some noise for the very funny Jason Flegel.
Woo! Oh my God, I feel like I should apologize for all the drama I've caused. Sorry. Stacey, I am ready to make your dream come true. Are you ready?
Yes,
you ready?
I'm ready.
This is a great show. Did someone help you put it together?
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to say yes. Yes. No.
Was it my mom?
Your mom helped me. Oh my God, wait, no, I still can't do it. Jason, I can't do it. I don't know why I can't say this.
Oh my God, we tried. That's all we can do is try. We'll get it next time.
I just can't do it.
You tried.
I'm hopeless.
You're hopeless. We're all hopeless. I'm hopeless too. I mean, I don't know. I get Netflix thinks I'm hopeless because they email me to tell me what I should watch, which I don't know. I got an email. They recommend I watch Bridgerton, which really confused me because I couldn't figure out what comic book it was based on. Like, it's an original story. Is that even still allowed? And look, I like comic book stuff. I'm an old school nerd. Like I was saying Wakanda Forever back when that would get you shoved into a locker. So like, it's weird to me that all this stuff that was considered uncool when I was a kid is super popular now. Like there's celebrities playing Dungeons and Dragons. Star Wars is more popular than ever. The most popular sporting event is the Math Bowl. Okay, that one is wishful thinking, but any day now, any day. But like as a nerd, I love that there are so many superhero movies and TV shows. And it's not just like the superheroes you'd expect, like Spider-Man or Batman or Barack Obama. Like, there's a show right now, literally, about a woman with a robot husband, and they live inside Nick at Night, and that's the most popular show on TV. As a nerd, I respect and appreciate that. Like, we need more weird comic book movies and TV shows. Have Superman turn blue. Give Spider-Man 8 arms. Make Thor into a frog. I think Chris Hemsworth has the range to pull it off. And like the true nerds know those are all things that actually happened in comic books because people who write comic books are weird. And that means there's a lot of untapped potential in the world of comics. I think Hollywood needs to dig deeper. Like there's one comic book called The War That Time Forgot. And it's this comic book about soldiers in World War II who are fighting in the Pacific, and they wind up on an island with dinosaurs. So they have to fight the dinosaurs and the Japanese because apparently the biggest war in history wasn't exciting enough for the comic book people. So they said, let's add dinosaurs. There's another World War II comic. It's called The Creature Commandos. It was about an elite commando force in World War II that consisted of a vampire, a werewolf, and a Frankenstein monster. Because again, just killing Nazis, not exciting enough. And the leader of the Creature Commandos was a regular human, because kids needed to learn that the real monsters are us. But there's one World War II comic. It was called The Haunted Tank. Ooh, scary. And I would just love to be in the room when they pitch that one as a movie. Like the guy comes in, he's like, okay, this one is called The Haunted Tank. It's like Saving Private Ryan, but it has a ghost. Love it. Is the ghost one of the soldiers who died at D-Day? Not exactly. This is the ghost of a Civil War general. Okay, like General Grant? Not exactly. You know how the most famous tanks from World War II are Sherman tanks? Oh, sure, that makes sense. So it's the ghost of General Sherman. Not exactly. There's a less famous tank named after Confederate General Jeb Stuart. I don't know if Jeb Stuart would be on board fighting Nazis. Like the Confederates and the Nazis, they seem like they're on the same page. Jeb Stuart, like his ghost would have been like, we're going to go over that hill and we're going to kill the Nazis and we're going to liberate the mongrel races. And, you know, now that I think about it, this may not be the best idea. So I don't know. They gotta figure that one out. That one might not come to a theater near me. I don't know. When I'm not watching Netflix, I watch regular TV with commercials just to mix it up a little. I saw a commercial for Domino's, and they have this thing, they call it pizza insurance. And that sounds to me like insurance that's going to pay for my open heart surgery after I eat bunch of their pizzas. That's not what it is. The way it works is if they mess up your order, they'll fix it for you. Like, is that something I need insurance for? Everyone does that. Like if Papa John's will replace your pizza if they screw it up. Even if you're black and they're racist at Papa John's, they will cover that pre-existing condition. What this means is someone at Domino's thought pizza is popular, but what if we associated it with the insurance industry? Everyone loves insurance. Like one of the few silver linings of this pandemic is that I no longer have to do that thing where you're with a bunch of your friends and you order pizza. Like I hate that, because whenever I order pizza with friends, like it turns into an SAT question. Like, okay, there's 5 of us and everyone's gonna eat 3 slices and the delivery driver is moving west at 30 miles an hour. How many pizzas do we need? And look, the same thing happens every time. Someone does the math and says 2, and then all my friends look at me because I'm the fat one and they want me to say 3. Screw them. I'm fat. I'll just wait till I get home and order my own pizza. And then, like, once you decide how many pizzas to get, that's when the real Middle East peace negotiations start. What to get on the pizzas. And there is no 2-topping solution for this. Like, we wind up with an order where it's like, I need 1 pizza with half pepperoni and half olives. And the olive half has to overlap the pepperoni half on 3 of the slices. And there needs to be 1 slice with peppers and 1 slice with onions, but they can't touch each other. And the other one is plain cheese. Because there's always someone who just wants plain cheese. And look, you can't even do plain cheese anymore because there's this whole cheese pizza arms race going on. Like now it's 4 cheese pizza, 5 cheese pizza. I saw a place that had, no lie, 6 cheese pizza. They had fresh mozzarella, Romano, Asiago, Parmesan, Provolone, and mozzarella. You guys, they had mozzarella in there twice. And only one of them was fresh. What the hell is going on at that Papa John's? And is it covered by my pizza insurance? I don't know. Hey, you know, this has been great. I want to thank you, Stacy. I will close out my set by asking you once more, is there anyone out there in the Facebook audience who you would like to give a shout out to?
Your mom.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Oh my gosh. Give it up for
Oh, that's
Jason
great.
Flegel, everyone. And also,
Woo!
I accomplished a lifelong
Mhm.
dream.
Yes.
I'm going to say this. It felt really good. Like, it actually is really funny. So I understand why people said it. So thank you, Jason. Oh my gosh. I'm just so happy. Everyone. The comedy doesn't stop on a Friday. It just doesn't. And I am thrilled because I am about to welcome the headliner of the stand-up portion of this show. So please make a great big round of applause to the very funny Lauren Smith, everyone.
Hey, so I am 51, which means that I thought John Tyler was the hot guy from Duran Duran. And unlike Laurent, though, I don't hurt physically, but I do pee all the time. And I am a divorced single mom because I made good choices. I turned 50 in October of 2019. And when I was Stacy's age, I thought that was really old. Hell, now that I'm age, I think that's really old. And I thought at 50, I would identify as an adult and act like one even. But the year started with a bang. The unprotected one night kind. Yeah, I told you, I make good choices. But I got offered my own reality show, 50 and Pregnant. Oh, only I wasn't. And then the pandemic hit halfway through the year, and I turned 51 this October. And unlike 50, 51 has been exactly the way I thought it would be. I never go out. No one comes within 6 feet of me. And the only bangs I get are from DIY haircuts. Yeah, if I had known this was going to happen, I'd have been so much naughtier last year. Like I said, I like to make bad choices. And to make matters worse, guys, the person I have loved for the last few years is leaving me to be with someone smarter, younger, and hotter.
Aw.
Yeah, that's right. My daughter's going to college and her roommate's way cuter than I am. Oh, well, at least this time I do get the house. So it is a step up from the divorce, which was still a huge step up from my marriage. Now, part of this was that my ex-husband had the only uncircumcised penis I have ever seen. And I never entirely mastered it, which may explain the divorce. He stopped letting me play with it altogether a few years beforehand. Instead, he would come home from work, yell at me till he felt better. I'd feed him dinner. He'd play video games. We'd go up to bed. I'd be on my side, touching myself, thinking about the hot Cuban guy I was going to take up with after he died, and I moved to Florida on the life insurance. And he'd be on his side looking at me like I was repugnant. And guys, it was totally unfair. I never once told him that his death was an integral part of my fantasy life. Besides, he's British. It's not like it would have been much of a change. Yeah. So, like the woman of a certain age I am, before this whole pandemic thing, I tried out OkCupid. That's Tinder for old people. And when I got on to OkCupid, I was immediately contacted by a gentleman, and I use the word loosely, who was lacking in height and hair, but very well endowed with girth. Sadly, not the fun kind. And he asked if I wanted to enter into a cuckold relationship. What, you may ask, is that? And if you're not asking, you're going to hell. I don't want to know. Anyway, I asked, and he sent me a link. Guys, it is never a good thing if a man needs a link to explain what he wants from you. So I click on the link, and it is like this page-long description, which boils down to the fact that what this dude wants to do is clean my apartment and watch while I have sex with some other guy. Yeah, I was really glad it wasn't a video. Here's the thing though, guys. I'm a broke single mom. My apartment has not been professionally cleaned since the divorce, which happened in 2008. I actually had to think about this. But then I'm like, sir, I am already on OkCupid because I can't find a man. I don't think that having a short, fat, bald guy watching from the corner is likely to help. Not even if you stay 6 feet away. All right, guys, I'm Lauren. That's been my time.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, keep it going for our headliner, Lauren Smith.
Woo! That does not make me miss dating.
We love you, Lauren.
Okay.
Hearts. This is a heart.
It
This
is a heart.
Let me put up an actual heart on the reactions. Yes.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Look at it. I can still use the computer. Everyone, guess what? We are switching gears. We are about to enter into the improv portion of this show. So I am going to request all of the stand-ups to please turn off your videos because I am about to invite one of my favorite improv teams to perform. Please make some noise for the very funny Neon Salami.
Woo!
That's us.
It's true.
Here
it
we
is us.
are.
Here we are. I'm switching to gallery view. You know, I have this. Hey, there we go. I'm fixing my video display. Zoom problems. Classic 2021. Am I right, people? Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, pandemic jokes never old. Never.
Yeah,
Never.
nope.
No.
Can't say them too many times.
I'll love
Yeah.
them forever. I think you're on
Yeah.
mute. I think you're on mute.
I
Oh,
literally
man.
thought you were talking to me. I was like, I don't think I
Someday we'll look back on this and just cry all over
Yeah, I
again.
was gonna
Try.
say like, no, not laugh, but we will eat Nutella
Yeah.
alone with a
Oh.
spoon.
This
Yes.
Neon Salami set is brought to you by Nutella.
Thank
You
you.
hear that, Nutella?
Oh,
what type
yeah.
of suggestion should we get?
Oh,
Hmm.
it is, you know what? It is almost Valentine's Day. I feel,
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, ooh, that's a reaction.
And we've heard a lot about marriage tonight too,
That
coincidentally.
is true.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe shout out something you find, something you love because it's Valentine's Day. Love.
Oh, that's good. Something you love.
I
Michelle.
love the smell of fresh cut grass and I like horses.
Fresh cut grass and horses. And then all the other comics were like, we're dead inside. We don't love anything.
What I'm wondering though is does Stacy love real fresh cut grass and horses or from that show or from the video game? What is it called?
Laura,
From
you're
other-
correct. It is from Red Dead Redemption. I love my horse. I just got a new one actually called Chestnut. I named him Chestnut. And he's so great.
There we go.
Yep, it's a video game.
Very,
Yep.
very relatable. I've been playing Zelda and I got a horse and I named him
Breath
Dusty.
of the Wild, the bestest.
Oh, yeah.
So many horses.
So many
I have
horses.
6.
6.
Yeah.
We'll compare horse notes later, but
Yeah.
for
Okay.
now,
Yeah, I guess we should play.
yeah, we are.
But can
we're
I just comment though before we get into it that I'm just realizing that we've all been doing comedy together and doing these shows together more or less every other week for nearly a year, to the point where I've not physically seen Stacy in a year, but I know what video game she's playing and what she's pulling from her mind.
Yep.
And I think that that's fantastic.
I was just
So-
thinking about that earlier. I was like, oh, I haven't had dinner in person with Neon Salami in 1 year, which is so weird.
Yeah.
Any hoozle, yes.
Yeah.
You
Like I
all, I'll
said-
let y'all like dive into it because this will be my first time that I'm doing a 3-person scene.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna look back on this and cry, except when we look back on the scene we're about to do, and that will make us laugh. So Neon Salami presents a scene inspired by fresh cut grass and horses.
Mhm.
Well, I tell you, the yard's looking pretty unkempt these days. Pretty unkempt, guys.
Why are you trying to subtly tell me, Bob? What are you trying to tell me?
Well, Jenny, it's like this. When we agreed to get a house together,
Uh-huh.
you said you'd take care of the yard.
I did, yes.
Hey guys, my name's Chestnut and I'm a horse for hire and you can hire me to cut the grass. Does anybody here need some yard service?
See, Bob,
Nay.
I asked Chestnut to come here.
You knew you invited Chestnut over?
Obviously.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's really nice to be with both of you, Bob and Jenny. Jenny and I we were in line at the grocery store together and I said, hey, I'm starting to grow my business. I've been a horse for a long time. I've been hanging out. I know a lot about agriculture and I really want to help people who need their yards serviced.
Oh my God. So Jenny, when you came back from the grocery store and you said you had a surprise, I thought it was the pistachios you bought.
No, and it wasn't the ice cream. I mean, I thought it was odd that I had run into a horse in the ice cream aisle, but like
I get that a lot.
I don't know. And then like you're just always like passive aggressively insulting me. So I just didn't. I froze up. Okay. I froze up.
Hey,
And I forgot to tell you that Chestnut was coming over. And also it's a horse that talks. Okay, Bob.
all right. Well, that's good. You don't look, if I'm passive aggressive, look, Chestnut, I'm sorry you have to see this.
Should
but I
I,
think-
should I step over by the bushes
Stay,
or something?
Chestnut, please. Someone needs to witness this. Also, you can munch on the lawn while we're arguing.
I'll get started.
Okay, excellent.
I don't know why you need to bring Chestnut into our fight. Like, I get that there are some communication problems between you and me.
Mhm.
And I've been trying to work on it. Like, is Chestnut a licensed marriage counselor? Is that what's going on here?
I don't know that he's not. Chestnut?
Hey, guys, I wanted to share with you some personal news. And it's that I'm a licensed marriage counselor.
What are the odds?
While I was over in the bushes, you guys have some things to work through.
Yeah.
You're telling me you didn't know Chestnut was a licensed marriage counselor when you invited him over to do our lawn?
Had no idea. It's just, not planned at all. It's just a happy accident.
Uh-huh.
There's one other thing you should know about me.
Yes, Chestnut.
I'm also a notary.
Oh my God.
A notary. Well, I mean,
Sidebar, side conversation. Can you do the stamps with your hooves and then you sign?
Yes.
Oh,
Look,
that's
do you
fantastic.
see?
Yes, I do. Oh, that's
Okay.
fantastic.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
really cool. When do we ever need anything notarized though?
Divorce papers.
Whoa, Jenny. We haven't even done the counseling yet.
Yeah.
You're right. I should give
up
it.
hope.
I should give it a chance. You're right.
Yeah, we gotta give this a chance. We've been together for all this time. We got a
Look.
great horse here to help us work this out.
Yeah.
When I clip-clopped up to your front yard and I saw you two standing there, and I thought to myself, I've counseled a lot of couples, and in my day as a horse marriage counselor, and sometimes there's research that shows you can like watch a couple within the first 20 minutes and you could tell whether they're going to get divorced. And that's not the case with you two. I think there's something
okay.
really
Oh,
special
all right.
here. Yeah, no, I'm not
reassuring.
saying, I'm saying you have a chance. I'm saying
Okay.
you do have a chance.
I would not have guessed that. So that's
I really want to make this work. I mean, we got our problems, but I think we love each other. I mean, I love you, Jenny. Do you still love me?
I saw a horse in the grocery store today.
Who,
All right.
me?
Yeah.
Or is it a different one? We're
Yeah.
talking about
No,
me?
yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm not avoiding the question. Let's sit down. Let's sit down in the yard.
I've got a better idea.
Okay, yes, Chestnut.
Do you two want to hop on my back and have
do.
a talk?
Is that how your sessions usually go?
Usually, yes.
That's so
All right.
interactive. That might make me change my mind about some things.
All right, I haven't been on a horse ride forever, so yeah, let's go for it.
It's so much more than a horse ride.
Well, yeah.
It's therapy. That's what I mean.
It's,
I
That's-
didn't ask you about your rates. What are your rates, Chestnut? Like, what are we talking?
The best part of this is I am a horse with little to no living expenses. So if you just let me eat your grass and sort of walk around your yard,
we can do
you'll be
that.
fine.
Yeah, we can do that.
I honestly think there may be a God. I'm not sure, but this is incredible.
This is exactly what we needed. I'm so glad you ran into Chestnut at the grocery store.
Me too. I'm so glad I dropped acid earlier.
That's,
Me too.
And a scene.
and that's our show.
Oh my gosh, that was Chestnut from Red Dead Redemption. That was Chestnut.
That makes me want to play Red Dead Redemption now, because one of my favorite things about Zelda is getting horsies. Have you gotten the big horse yet, Jason?
No, I have not.
I got to talk to you about this.
We gotta connect up.
There are two great video games apparently for you horse fans out there: Zelda Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption.
Breath of the Wild is the most amazing. You have to get it immediately.
I want it, but I'm still busy riding Chestnut through the great outdoors, jumping over logs, and
You didn't know Chestnut did marriage counseling, did you?
I didn't, but I can see it. Chestnut helped me many times over.
Chestnut can do anything.
Chestnut.
Just wait until you need a marriage validated and a certificate notarized.
Exactly.
And then you're really in business.
And you got Chestnut. Everyone, that was Comedy is Calling. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday night. We had stand-up from Laurent Amzalog, Jeff Heisen, Jason Flegel, our headliner, Lauren Smith, and we also had improv from the very funny Neon Salami, and I have been your host, Stacey Axler. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like the show, we put on about 3 shows every month in coordination with our wonderful friends at Capital Cider House. Capital Cider House, we love you, we miss you, we want to see you soon. If you're wondering, oh my gosh, I want to go to Capital Cider House, why can't I? You can go. I think they're honestly still open right now. You can pick up their delicious cider, which, like, honestly, just the other day, and this is not an exaggeration, I was saying to myself, I really want some of their cider. They have the most delicious, crisp, wonderful tasting cider. I'm actually making myself very upset that I'm not drinking it right now. In your car, they do contactless delivery. They also have a lot of other cool online events. I recommend you checking them out online, placing an online order. You can see them and find out more at www.capitalciderhouse.com. Thank you, Capital Cider House. And that was our show for this Friday. We will be back next weekend on Sunday.
the 21st, I want to say.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we will see you then. We're going to be on Facebook Live. So see you in a week. Goodbye, Facebook land.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.